morning, everyone. My name is Carla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, which lately has been paper crafting and crochet, but only a little bit of those, and also some life thrown in. Today is Sunday, September 24th. It's my FlossTube number 208. Welcome to fall. Officially, it's fall. It couldn't have come soon enough for me. I got pretty sick of the summer heat really quick, and it still isn't cool enough, but hi Baggy. Telling you guys, as soon as I start talking to you, he's over here wanting to get in on the act. Oh, wanting to get in on the act. He wants to be a YouTube star. Can you tell? Anyway, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see. You want to hit like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. If this is not your first time finding my channel, thank you for coming back. I enjoy spending this time each day with you. If you really are enjoying what you see, want to give me a monetary tip, I do have the Super Thanks button down below, which is very easy to use. It's just a little $ sign and a heart. You just click on it. Or you can also, and I found this out recently, you can send gifties through PayPal. And then I actually, YouTube doesn't take half of it or 30% of it or whatever it is. So it is not necessary that anybody do that, but it is so appreciated and does help with things like postage and Zoom fees. So yes, we did have a Zoom yesterday. I had to adjust the time to 2 o'clock because I had plans to go to the theater last night, which was fairly short-term knowledge. I only knew about it for about a week, but I did adjust the Zoom time. It was a great little group. There was only about 5 of us on there, but I have realized that the size of my Zooms really is affected by when I put it. So if they're on Sunday afternoons, I tend to have like good 10, 12, 20 people, and when I have them other days, and they're just not that big, and I think it's just because if my videos upload in a timely manner on Sunday, then the people who see it and get a reminder can hop on, and without that little immediate reminder, I think a lot of people just don't think about it. So I think, at least for the coming couple Zooms, I am going to stick to doing them on Sundays, Sunday afternoons, California time, just so we can get, you know, that group in. My hair is doing a really weird like bump thing here, you guys. I keep looking at Viewfinder and all I can think is the B52s. That might be a little bit better. Okay. Where was I? Oh, Zoom. Yeah. So I'm having a little bit of a struggle with the whole idea of the Zooms anyway. I mean, I enjoy them like you guys don't believe. I really enjoy them, and I love getting the chance to connect with you guys, but it is a monthly expense that is getting more and more difficult for me. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a huge amount, but it's, you know, an additional $16 a month that goes on my credit card, and I'm trying to get these things down. I'm drowning a little bit in debt, so yeah. So I'm gonna have to balance that and see. I might be able to actually piggyback onto my boss's Zoom, but I kind of hate to do that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You know, are the Zooms valuable to you? You know, it's great, but if I'm only getting 2 or 3 people a month on there, I don't know financially if it's worth it to me. It's not. It's worth it to me emotionally to get to, even with one person, to get to connect, but you know, financially, I have to wonder. I'm not trying to make money on this channel, but I'm certainly not trying to necessarily have it be an expense either. Okay, so enough of that stuff. This past week, if you watched my video last week, you know I got to see my brother on Wednesday night. He moved, for those of you who are new, he and his family moved to Michigan back in June. Why Michigan? Because they did a whole pros and cons spreadsheet of all the states in the United States, and Michigan was the winner. And it was mostly a financial move. California is exceedingly expensive to live in, Southern California especially. And they're enjoying it there. The downside is that I have no family here anymore. So most of my family and friends have moved. And so I'm really relying on you guys to be my community and be my family. Because I get to see you, or I get to at least spend time with you, it feels like, every week. So. But anyway, so I had dinner with him on Wednesday. It was really nice. I mean, I only got to spend 2 hours with him, but we had a great dinner and a bunch of chit chat. And you know, he was like, "I need to call you more." I'm like, "You're not gonna call me. you don't think to do it." But we do. We are Zooming at least once a month to play D&D with him and my oldest nephew Logan. So that's nice, and hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more like family game night type things. In the near future. They're very busy, 3 kids who are in various activities, especially Reagan, who is, you know, I don't want to say professional because that's not the right word, but is a very dedicated and extreme cheerleader. And cheer in the Midwest is a much bigger deal even than cheer out here, which they are finding out. It's very, very dedicated and a big intense thing. So she is at the cheer gym, I want to say at least 4 days a week. So yeah, she's that is her thing, her life, her joy. And it does, you know, take time that, you know, so the family has to kind of work around it. Then yesterday, as I said, we had the Zoom in the afternoon, which was fun. And then I went to see Les Miserables with a friend of mine, my second little brother. He's actually one of my brother's best friends from high school, so I've known him ever since then. And we've done a lot of theater together. Our families were very close. And he is a theater kid, just like my brother and I. And his lovely wife she just doesn't like plays. Plays are okay. She doesn't like musicals. So Greg got tickets to see Les Mis. He actually got 3 tickets, and because he was gonna try and see if she would come. She didn't. But he took me to see the show at the Southern California Performing Arts Center, which is now called the Segerstrom Center for the Performing Arts. But I grew up with it being OCPAC, Orange County Pacific Arts Center. So it's really hard for me to stop thinking about it as OCPAC, but now it's the Segerstrom Center. So it's like where any touring company stuff is going to come in Orange County, as opposed to, you know, the big LA theaters. So this was the big touring company of Les Mis that has been all over the country. In fact, I think Jen from Backcountry Stitcher, she a couple months ago was going to see Les Mis in she's in Salt Lake, I think, or she's in Utah. I think she's in Salt Lake. But anyway, she was going to see Les Mis. I bet it was the same touring company because they've been all over. Anyway, it was wonderful. Les Mis I've actually seen like 2 or 3 times plus the movie. So this was either my 3rd or 4th time seeing it on stage. And it's always fantastic. I mean, the singers in this, the voices were just over the top amazing. We had very high balcony seats, so, you know, the little people were like this big, but it didn't matter because it was really cool because you could see the whole stage that way. And I mean, the sound, of course, fills the theater, so that's no problem. It was just a very enjoyable show. Les Mis is very like stirring. The music is great. you know, if you know, you know, if you've seen it, you know. It was really, really good. And I haven't been to like a big production like that in so long, so it was really nice to go to the theater. Aside from the fact that, you know, getting older, it's like it's harder to sit in those seats with your knees cramped up, and, you know, and they're not made for people with any kind of booty or thighs. So aside from that, being slightly uncomfortable for a 3-hour show, it was still really, really wonderful. And I have to give a big thank you to Greg for taking me and picking me up and dropping me off at the front, so I didn't have to walk as far from the parking lot, even though he has a bad knee too. So I felt really bad because he came limping up, you know, after he dropped off his car. But yeah, I just have to give a big thank you for him being a good little brother and taking me to the show. So that was really fun. Okay, so I think that's all. Oh, no, I have one more really important thing to say, and that is happy birthday to my BFF Tracy. Her birthday was this past Wednesday, and I have to iron the piece that I made for her so I can get it in its decorative hoop and get it in the mail. I didn't do it last week. I didn't worry about it because I knew she wasn't home last week. She and her partner got a cabin. I don't know if it was a cabin or whatever, but it was right on Lake Michigan, and they went kayaking all week and sat out on the shore and had a nice relaxing week. So that was really good for her birthday. But I do need to get it into the mail this week, so she will get it. But happy birthday to Tracy. She and I have been friends since we were, well, I know she sat behind me in freshman English in high school, but I don't think that we really actually got to know each other and became friends until sophomore year, when we both got into theater, and then we ended up walking home together all the time because it was the same path, and you know, that's how we got to be friends. So we've been friends since we were like 15 years old. So yeah, that's a long time to know somebody who isn't a blood relative. So she's my sister by choice. Anyway, so happy birthday, Tracy. I hope it was wonderful, and I will get your present to you soon. Hopefully. I'm very bad about doing things to a deadline, you guys. Okay, now I can get on to the projects, which I was saying last week that I was a little bit on a struggle bus to do stuff. This week, actually, I managed to do some crafting every day, which was nice. So I got a lot of projects to show you, and yeah, I mean, I'm still, you know, emotions are difficult. Sometimes I'm having a good day, sometimes I'm not having a great day, but whatever. This week I managed to do crafting. I didn't do any little golden book stuff, but that is starting to get me a little bit stressed because, as I said, doing stuff to a deadline is really hard for me, and I do have a deadline to get those out to the people who I promised them to last year. I did say I had till the end of the year. However, Hanukkah's actually early this year. It's at the very beginning of December, and I would like to get them done before then. But I'm gonna do my best. And if I don't make that deadline, then you guys will just have to forgive me. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I'm thinking also about what I'm gonna do for Flossnica this year. Let me know if you have enjoyed the last several times I've done it, if I should do every day again this year, or if I should maybe do every other day. Next year, Hanukkah is right at the end of the year. It kind of crosses Christmas, which doesn't mean anything like religiously, but emotionally I love it because I feel like I'm celebrating at the same time the rest of everybody is celebrating, and it, you know, so I really enjoy that. So I know I'm going to do a big Flossnica next year. This year, I don't know, it might be toned down a bit. One of the traditions, Jewish traditions, is just kind of like storytelling. So it's not like I'm giving new information every year. I'm just telling the same stuff, which is how it's supposed to be done, and lighting the candles and everything. So let me know how you guys feel about that, how much you would enjoy watching new ones this year. So anyway, let me know. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get into the projects that I worked on. I actually did do some crochet this week. Two things I worked on. One is, you know, something that you've seen. I worked on my strawberry shawl, which is, this is a strawberry stitch that I'm doing the red part with Caron Simply Soft Party, which just means it's a solid color with a sparkle in it. And the green, I'm using Lion Brand Ferris wheel, which is kind of a variegated green. And I made this super, super long, which I'm not regretting it, but it just means that doing even one row takes a long time. So I finished a row and I started a second row. And so you can see my strawberry stitch is, you know, it's growing, but this is going to take a really long time. But it's fun. I like it. I think I'm going to have to get more yarn because I think I severely underestimated how much I would use. But since I'm using a fairly easy to get brand and color, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I did stitch on that one evening. And then the other thing that I worked on, so I've said several times in this video already that it's hard for me to craft to a deadline, which is true. However, I have a deadline coming up because somebody's birthday, my cute little nephew Hudson's birthday, is October 8th. And I could just order him a toy. He has a little list that I got sent from Amazon. I could do that. But you know, I really, especially since I do craft and I have started crocheting, I kind of wanted to make something for the kids this year. I mean, they all have birthdays in this like last quarter of the year. Hudson's in October, and then we've got Reagan and Logan in December and January, and Hanukkah. So, you know, it's a lot. But I want to be able to give them something that is a little bit more special. I don't know that that kids notice that at this age, but I feel like they'll know later. And if they keep things, they're more of an heirloom or a good memory of something that Aunt Carla made them. So that's kind of what I would like to do rather than just get him a toy. But again, because I'm very bad at doing things to a deadline, I have been struggling a little bit, like what should I do? I did start making Mario. I want to say Mario and Luigi. I've only started Mario, amigurumi. It's too involved for me to get it done before his birthday. Maybe Hanukkah, maybe, but I don't know even about that. So then I came across something that I thought he would like. Now, Hudson, I don't think Hudson watches my videos very often. I think Reagan watches them occasionally. So if you guys are watching, please, turn away during this part. I mean, Reagan, you can see it, but don't tell Hudson. Or this surprise will be broken. Anyway, Hudson has a couple characters or movies that he has loved since being really little, and that love has not changed. He has always been very into Toy Story. He has always been very into Nightmare Before Christmas, and then he loves Mario, obviously. So, he plays. He's really a kid. Not all kids like to play with things and with the figures and things like that and do that kind of imaginative play. He really does. He's always really liked that. So he likes physical, you know, figures and toys along those lines. So anyway, along the Nightmare Before Christmas line, he loves it that his birthday's in October. So Christmas, his birthday and Halloween in 1 month, it's just like a whole big yay thing. Anyway, I found a pattern for Zero, which is, for those of you who don't know Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington has a ghost dog named Zero. And what's funny is Zero, actually, when I started doing this toy, looks just like their dog that they got last I think they got her in December, January. They got Lilo, who is their special needs dog. She's blind. But anyway, I started making Zero for them. So I got the head done, actually. I think it's really cute. And it does look just, I mean, holding it up here, I'm like, does it look like a duck? It doesn't look like a dog. It does though, it looks like Zero. And then it has ears that I need to do, and then the body, which is basically just a white, it doesn't close because Zero's a ghost. So anyway, so that's what I'm making, and it is an easy enough pattern and small enough that I think I can get it done in the next week and get it mailed out to him before his birthday. So that is the other crochet project that I've been working on. Okay, on to my stitching. And I have, I think, 7 things to show you, which is, you know, wow. So yesterday was a Zoom. So as you guys know, typically on a Zoom, if I'm going to stitch, I stitch on a counted canvas piece because they're easier for me to see using my regular seeing glasses as opposed to my stitching glasses, which are a higher magnification. And I don't want the higher magnification when I'm on a Zoom because I can't see the computer then. They're too strong. So anyway, I tend to want to do something that's a needlepoint type thing because I can see it better. And so I worked on my country garden and got to, you know, like the milestone. I got this whole section finished. So the next, let me get the picture. So this is the full picture. As you can see, I did change this color from this sort of beaver gray color to a pink. So this whole square is done. It needs to have the outer border of the sparkly purple. And then I just have one more sort of layer to finish the project. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think I got a nice, actually this is technically the top. Not that it really matters, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how far it has come along. Okay, so that is that one. And let's see, I worked on Forget-Me-Nots. This is my Realist kit. This is definitely going to be on my push to finish list for November and December, and I don't think I'm gonna have any problem getting this done because when I sit down to work on it, it goes fairly quickly. Oops. And this last time I worked pretty much all in here. And I say this every time, this is a Realist done with the wool acrylic thread fiber. I really like it. I think it's vibrant, and I just like having a different fiber. It's pretty like soft and a little bit fluffier, I guess, than hairier than like DMC cotton, and yeah, I like it. I like having a different thing. So, okay. I just had a neighbor walk past and my window is open, and I'm sure I looked and sounded like an idiot talking to my camera. Okay, I worked on Mill Hill Ashes. She was going to put in laundry too, so she's going to come back in like 10 minutes, and I'm still going to be talking and looking like an idiot. Okay, this is the second one of the Alley Cats series that I have done. There's 4. These are the others on the back. And so I stitched and I unstitched on this week. I had 2 more of these little square things done, and then put in this one and realized that the ones over here were 1 stitch over too far, so I had to pull them out. There's nothing I could do. So I didn't get as much forward progress, but it is what it is. Lots of times I will fudge stuff, but something like that, there's just no way to fudge. I even thought about, can I stitch over the stitches that are there to change the color, and it wouldn't have looked good. So I had to bite the bullet and cut out threads. I worked on my sampler Au Chat, which is by Jardin Privé. It is Sampler September after all, so I figured it would be good to put this in a couple times. This is the pattern. I did change this little section right there, that alphabet. I changed it to say Carla Loves Baggy 2020, because 2020 is when I started it. And then I'm gonna put 2023, because I am determined to finish it this year, right down here next to the Z. And I'm stitching this on 20 count Aida with silky thread. I'm using a Blendables for the main color, and then a purple and a rose for the accent. Well, the purple's for all the cats, and then the rose color is for all the accent little things, like little fishes and hearts and birds, etc. And this time, when I worked on it, I put in the T, well, no, the T was done. I put in this U, which actually needs 2 more stitches. And then I did the X and part of the Y. So I didn't work on it a ton, but it actually takes longer than I think it's going to do each of these little thingies. Sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it doesn't, but anyway, I feel like I'm getting close to a finish on it. So I don't know how realistic that is, but I do want to push to a finish for this one as well this year. And I think I can do it. I think I can. Okay, I haven't had breakfast yet today. My tummy is growling already, so hopefully you guys can't hear anything weird. Alright, I worked on my Mishaberach piece, which means my piece for healing, which is Phoenix Queen by Bella Filipina. I was thinking about, now I started this for my friend Julie, Stitching at the Cabin's mom, who's undergoing chemo right now. But Julie also had some not fun biopsies done this week, so I was thinking about her and hoping that that all went well. And so I thought it was a good week to stitch on this and put out good thoughts to the universe, you know. Julie and I think, are getting together on the 8th, so that will be fun. I'm looking forward to that. Ow! One of these days we need to do some kind of like collab, you know, video. That'll be fun. Okay, so again, it still doesn't look like anything. I don't think that these look like anything until you get the head in or the arm or something that make them look like a person. So right now it's still blobs of color, very pretty blobs of color, I think. But yeah, this actually, her hand is like right there. So, and all that's those spaces right there, those are full beads. So this one is very beaded. In fact, the sort of lacy looking, these lacy looking bits on the side, that's all beading. So yeah, so this little swoop is what you see right now. I hope I'm knocking something over here. Okay, and then I did work on the Tuxedo Cat Eyes, as I said I was going to last week, and I just finished the black. So I finished the diagonal. So that doesn't really look much different than it was when you saw it last week, but I just finished the diagonal, which is all black. That is the beginning of one of the beautiful eyes. And last but not least, Sweet Pea Fairy. What is falling everywhere? Look, I'm gonna have this huge mess behind me and I don't know what I'm knocking into. Okay, this is Sweet Pea Fairy by Joan Elliott. I'm doing this on a 32 count even weave, hand dyed by Rolanda. And I'm doing the skin 2/110, which when I started doing that, I just didn't connect that I was on 32 count, so it's pretty tiny. And I did finish the face last time I showed you, so I worked more on the hair and started a little bit on the wing. But here she is. So pretty. Now, someone had asked me if the Joan Elliott's, if the patterns were hard to read, and I don't think so. Let me show you. Okay, so this is just a piece of pattern so that you can kind of see. I feel like the symbols are really clear. The back stitching and the beads are all done in colors and different colors, so it's not like confusing. So yeah, I think that the patterns are fairly easy to read. A lot of it though, I mean, I have to say, it's what you get used to, you know. You look at a HAED pattern and when you first look at it, it can be just mind-blowing. I remember I looked at it was a gold petites, but it was a Dimensions Gold pattern when I had just been stitching a couple months, and I took the thing out, looked at it, I folded back up. I'm like, I'm not ready for that. Now I've been working on, I have 2 gold petite patterns that I'm working on, and they're 100% doable. I mean, they're not that confusing to me anymore, but when I first started, they were. So, you know, part of it is just what you get used to. So, you know, if you find something that seems a little bit intimidating, just, you know, try a little bit at a time, or try a smaller version of that artist's patterns, you know, and sometimes once you get into it, then it's not that big a deal anymore. So that was all my whips for the week. plans for next month, or plans for next week, well, I guess next week will be the end of September and starting going into October. I have been thinking about it, and Laura's Stitching at the Shore. Her birthday is in October, and she does kind of like how I do my Black Cat birthday style, which is pretty loosey-goosey, and it's just, you know, any kind of pattern that has a black cat on it. She does a pumpkin birthday style, and she's, again, very like, it can be a pumpkin, it can be pumpkin colored fabric, it could be pumpkin colored floss, it could, you know, it could be really anything that you want, just to kind of join in on the fun. And I really wanted to do that, but I'm not feeling this week that I wanted to start something new or a new big pattern. And then I realized I had 2 of the Mill Hill Autumn Harvest little ornaments that both fit the theme. So I showed them both to Laura and asked her to help me pick, because I had this one, which is called Harvest Garden. I had this one, which is called Pumpkin Trio, and she really liked this one because she thought it was kind of cool with the blue pumpkin. And I just dropped a kit. So, so I have this one for next year. But yeah, so I'm gonna start this. I kitted it up already. And I have it here ready to put in some stitches on this maybe next week, definitely next month, for Laura Stitching at the Cabin. No, that's Julie Stitching at the Cabin. Laura Stitching at the Shores pumpkin birthday style. So I'm excited to do that. Since I finished my little frog guy, which was the last little Mill Hill ornament thing that I had, and I turned that into my purse project. So this might become a purse project after October. Now, another thing, and I know I've said it before, and like, I didn't discover this on my own. This is like, you know, somebody told me, and I think it's one of these like really great tips that kind of goes through the community, and then people who know it and don't think to share it. So if you haven't worked on Mill Hills before, like Mill Hill button and beads. So this is the floss and bead chart. When you look at a Mill Hill pattern, sometimes it can be intimidating because they're like full of symbols, right? And sometimes it can be like, whoa, you can't see. One thing to keep in mind is all of the beading symbols are round in some way, and the regular symbols aren't. So the ones that are triangles or lines, or, you know, this U shape or little arrows or little carrots, those are flosses. All of the ones that are like round, like it looks like a sun, it looks like a dot, it looks like a flower, those are all beads. So that is just a good visual thing to keep in mind when you're working on these things, that all of those round symbols, you're not stitching, or you're not stitching them until you get to the beading. So sometimes those little bits of info are actually really helpful to know. So I wanted to remember to remind you guys that. I know I've said it before, but you know, it bears repeating. I think that's about it. Hopefully this video will upload in a timely manner today. What time is it now? It's about 10:15. So hopefully I'll get it up by early afternoon, because I got my light in my kitchen fixed. So I want to do a cooking video this afternoon. I was going to do an Instant Pot split piece soup, which is very easy and tasty. However, I saw a recipe yesterday for a tuna, Mediterranean tuna and rice dish, which I haven't made before, so we're gonna go on a little adventure together. And I think that's what I want to make. So I pretty much had all the ingredients for it. I had to get a jar of roasted red peppers, and some spinach. But other than that, I had everything. So it looks pretty tasty, and I don't cook a lot with rice. I don't, which is funny. I work with Filipinos, and they eat rice like every single day, and so they always have like really big things of rice. So every so often I'll go, can you like give me a little baggie full of rice? Because it's like if I buy a bag of rice, even like the 1 pound, it's gonna last me like a year. I just don't cook rice that often. So every so often I'll ask my friend at work if I can borrow some rice, and she'll give me like a baggie full of rice, because they buy so much of it. They eat it with pretty much every meal. But I just think it's funny. I've been trying actually to not, you know, eat carbs as much as I used to at all. When I say carbs, I should say like pasta and rice and bread and stuff like that. I still eat sugar. I mean, I try not to eat too much, but you know, I have the occasional cookie, I have some chocolate, I have those kinds of things, but I don't have pasta as like a staple as much anymore. And now when I do have pasta, I am using like the protein pasta, because I feel like that's a little bit better. I've tried some of the alternative pastas, like the Hearts of Palm stuff, and I like them. But to me, it's a separate thing. It's not pasta. It might be something that you could put sauce on, but it doesn't taste like pasta. So if you want the pasta taste, you know, you need pasta. So I either try and do whole wheat or the protein added kind, so that at least I'm getting a little bit more than just the carb. I'm getting protein in there, or extra fiber or something. I also found out recently that you can cook pasta in Instant Pot, which is just like amazing revelation to me. I didn't realize you could do that, and you can. So that is going to be included in some future videos. Anyway, so all that to say, I hope that this uploads quickly so that I can do that today. If it doesn't, then I may have to do filming either tomorrow night or Tuesday, because I really would like to upload another video on Wednesday. I've noticed that when I do have that second video, channel-wise, it's good for my channel. So yeah, I want to try and do that more often. The last couple weeks I haven't been able to do it, but I do, you know, make food for myself every weekend, so there's no reason why I can't film it, right? Just have to make something a little bit more interesting than a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, so that is basically it. I hope for the week coming up that you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you have some downtime, you have some productive time. I hope you have time to do whatever it is that makes you feel good. Whether that is taking a nap, or spending time with family, or snuggling your kitty or puppy, or whatever, watching TV, stitching, crafting, cooking, whatever it is, I hope you have time to do it. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Carla. Bye-bye.